Word up, here we are at the Marijuana March, Global Marijuana March and Freedom Festival. We got a special guest here. Do you mind introducing?
I'm Dana Larsen. I'm a former candidate for the leadership of the BC NDP, and I'm a marijuana activist and political activist from way back.
So you're saying you're a former candidate. Well, has there been an elected leader now?
Yeah, Adrian Dix won the leadership race, and congratulations to him. He'll be a fine leader for our party provincially. And you know, that orange wave has really been spreading over Canada with this federal election, and I'm really happy to see our leader, Layton, as the head of the opposition. I think he'll be bringing up some really important issues for the marijuana culture and for all Canadians. And in BC, we're going to be having an election probably in the fall, although it's up to Christy Clark, and if all goes well, I'll be running as an MLA for the NDP, which is a great step forward for me and more importantly for the marijuana movement and the cannabis culture in Canada. So I just ran for the leadership of the BC NDP. I came in fourth.
Awesome, yeah, we're talking a lot about politics, but you know, we always think about when it's the Marijuana March and the Freedom Festival, we always think about Mark Emery and the Free Mark Emery campaign. What's the latest with Mark Emery?
Well, Mark Emery's a good friend of mine, and I talk to him every day by email. Right now he's in Yazoo City in Mississippi, which I think is the 5th or 6th prison he's been in since he started this voyage down there. He's going to be there until 2014, and this is because the U.S. government has refused to undergo the treaty transfer process and let him come back to Canada. He qualifies under all of the criteria that they set out. It's normally a standard process. In fact, the U.S. was complaining last year that they had been releasing prisoners and Canada wasn't taking them back into Canada. We were refusing them, and this is aggravating the Americans. But now they said they don't want to send Mark Emery home because of the, quote, seriousness of his offense, which is selling marijuana seeds, which really is not a serious crime in any sense of the word. But we want to make sure that Mark's time in jail is used to shine a light on the others who are in prison who don't belong to be there. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people around the world who are in jail for nonviolent marijuana offenses. Mark is just one of those. We need to bring them home and end this war. That's what we're here for today, you know, is to show that the cannabis culture is a culture of peace, culture of tolerance, a culture of freedom, and we demand equal rights like everybody else. And Mark Emery, who is a great hero to our movement and who has done so much for the cause of freedom and liberty, for the cannabis culture in Canada and around the world, he's not a prisoner, he's a martyr to our cause, and we want to bring him home back to Canada where he belongs.
I was wondering, what are your thoughts on the medical cannabis and what's going on in Canada?
Well, I'm very excited about what's happening with medicinal cannabis in Canada, and I think ultimately it's going to be the medicinal users that lead us to freedom for all users. And, you know, I'm the director of the Vancouver Medicinal Cannabis Dispensary Society, and we operate our dispensary out of 2 locations in Vancouver. I'm also the director of 3 other nonprofits that have opened up dispensaries, one in Burnaby, one in South Vancouver, and one in Kelowna. And this is going to be a huge industry. British Columbia is going to become like California. And in Toronto and Ontario as well, they're growing too. And we need more of these dispensaries out there. We've had some challenges with Neves Club Com getting raided last year. But these are setbacks, they're minor setbacks ultimately in what is going to be a thriving, growing industry. A number of dispensaries across Canada are working together, and I'm part of this, to create a national organization, a parent organization that can help to self-regulate and license dispensaries among ourselves. It's going to be a huge industry, and ultimately we can expand that for all cannabis users, because all use is medicinal, I believe. You know, whether you're helping yourself feel good by relaxing and taking some stress off, or whether you've got a real serious ailment, that cannabis is your only real choice to stay alive and be healthy. We've got a culture that needs liberating, and it's going to be the medical users that I think help to normalize the use of this medicine. When you see somebody who's got cancer or AIDS or epilepsy or something smoking a joint, they pass it to someone who's a little more healthy than they are. That joint doesn't stop being good medicine when it passes hands. And so I'm thrilled to see the growth of this industry in Canada and in British Columbia, and to help shepherd it forward. And I really believe that in the next few years we're going to have so many dispensaries out there, like in California, that it's going to seem normal, and the next step towards full legalization will be a fairly small step after that.
So what are your thoughts on this event today? We got the big march going on, the Freedom Fest.
Well, I love being here, and it's great because we're in Vancouver for our 420 event on April 20th, and that's Vancouver's biggest event, and we get many thousands out there, but it's nothing compared to the size of this, with something like 40,000 people here. And the weather today is fabulous. I love being here. I've been here quite a few times. We've got the End Prohibition booth here, we've got the Mark Emery booth, and I love meeting people in Toronto. I think this is an amazing event, so I'm just thrilled to be here and watch all these marches heading off. I'm trying to get in the march, but I keep getting distracted, so I might just stay here in the park while they do their thing. people are interested in getting involved in the NDP, you can of course go to the ndp.ca website, but also check out endprohibition.ca. That's our group within the NDP, New Democrats Against the Drug War. And if you go to endprohibition.ca, you can join up our group and get involved. Also, whyprohibition.ca is an amazing resource. You can connect with other activists. You can send messages to people in your local area and get involved. And I wrote a book called Harry Pothead. If you want to check that out, go to harrypothead.net, H-A-I-R-Y, harrypothead.net. Get a copy of my book. It's fun and entertaining. And I guess that's all the websites I got for you right now. freemark.ca is also a good one to go to keep up to date with what's happening with Mark Emery. And yeah, thanks a lot. Definitely get involved. We're at a very key time in Canada. We need all the help we can get. You can join with 40,000 of your fellow activists here in Toronto, hundreds of thousands across Canada. We can make a difference. Let's not leave this war to the next generation. Let's end it now in our lifetime.
Is a friend indeed. Take two, put that, pass it to me. Much up the rotation, I'ma break your knee. Break your